Now, first of all, let me just say sorry to everybody about a couple things. First of all, sorry, there's a fan like right here that I have going right now, so hopefully it's not disturbing the audio too bad, but you gotta understand, I live in Alabama. It's May, and it is freaking hot right now. The high is like 91 today, so it be hot up in here. So, but I promise you, it's gonna be worth it to deal with this little background noise, because today's video subject is even hotter than the weather. I mean, things are going to get heated in this little room right here. Oh man, check this out. Flair Exotic t-shirt. Why do they keep making t-shirts with Flair's face on it? I guess because he's just like the most popular. Well, he gets the most views. So yeah, hey, shout out to you, buddy. I'm coming to see you here in a couple months on your farm. So yeah, guys, thank you for clicking on this video. Hopefully you're here because you want the truth, right? And it's not going to be this kind of truth. It's going to be the straight truth. It's going to be the straight dope, as they call it. And I got a lot to say today. So also would like to apologize that this is just a long vlog, like a talking video, but this needs to be said. A lot of this stuff you guys have been asking hundreds or even like thousands of times. So it's time we answered all this stuff today. And the topics that we're going to be covering going to be the Googan Squad, obviously, my relationship with a couple brand partners like Lojo, and the status of that, my relationship with other YouTubers like Kicking Their Bass TV, Fishing with Norm, those guys. I'm going to cover everything today, and once again, the truth is going to be what I say. It's not going to be my, my side of the story versus anybody else's. This is going to be the truth, what really happened, and we're just going to have to get through this together. But first of all, let's just start off with the obvious. I have officially joined the Googan Squad. Like, it has happened, it's done. They've already announced it on their channel. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen it. A lot of you may have not seen it, so let me be the first to tell you, I have officially joined the Googan Squad. These guys back here, the Googan Baits and, all that stuff. So I am now a member, Mr. Lojo, Uncle Lojo. We've come a long way, boys. But before you all run and hit the subscribe, or the unsubscribe button, I should say, I do feel like I should explain this, because a lot of you have been asking, are you going to sell out and join the Googan Squad? First of all, I'm sure 95% of you are probably really happy and excited about this news, but there's definitely 5% of you that are not going to be happy about it. It's no secret, there's a ton of people out there that do not like the Googan Squad, and it's for a multitude of reasons, and I'm not going to list all those reasons or what I think they are right now. You guys know. If you guys watch these videos, you're up to date with YouTube fishing. You know what's going on in the world today. So I guess I should say, for the ones who want to leave the channel and unsubscribe because I'm selling out or I'm joining this huge company that doesn't need any help, well, it's unfair to say that unless you know the full story, and that's exactly what I'm going to bring to you today. This is like a full timeline style video. This is going to outline exactly how everything has happened and why I feel like this is not a selling out. This is me going with a company who's I've been working with actually longer than really anybody, and how it's just something that I've really always wanted to do. So why not do what you want to do, right? Let's see. So where should we start here? I'm thinking around 2017 is kind of where this story really starts. Maybe late 2016, but let's just say, for all intents and purposes, 2017, right? 3 solid years ago. I am a extremely low-level YouTuber, right? And back in these days, YouTubers like me, we weren't making any money, okay? In fact, really nobody was making money except for the Googan Squad as far as YouTube fishermen, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. There may be a couple other ones in there that were doing okay, but really, everybody was just kind of plugging along, doing what they wanted to do. I was really small back then. Let's just say I had like 10,000 subscribers maybe, doing okay. I was about a year in, and I really wasn't doing it seriously to make money. I was just doing it because it was fun. Well, one day I got a DM on Instagram from Lunkers TV, which, if you guys don't know, is Robert Turkla. And he basically, I had met him one time before this. I had driven like to Texas with Fishing with Norm to do a mystery tackle box tournament or something like that. And I'd met him, briefly. Met all the guys briefly, but, I was so small back then, they didn't know who I was, and they didn't care probably. And hey, who cares? But after that, he sends me this direct message. He says, "Hey, man, I like your channel. You're small, but we see you out there. and there's this guy named Matt that I want you to talk to. And that's all he said, and that was it. And so I gave him my number. The guy, Matt, who now I know personally very well as Matt Kendrick, manager Matt. He's in the Googan Squad videos all the time now. He was at that time, and probably still is, he was their manager. He handled a lot of things for them. He handles brand deals, sponsorships, you know, stuff like that. Works really closely with them. And he called me, and we talked. And basically, to sum it up, basically what he said was, hey man, you know, we know you're a really small channel, but we are looking for smaller channels to kind of just be associated with, to come and work with us from time to time. And that was it. They didn't ask for money. They didn't ask for me to rep their products. They didn't ask me to do anything. They just said, hey, basically, you know, we've seen you before. We've seen your channel. You've got potential. We think you're gonna, you know, be somebody someday. You know, let's kind of just be friends. That was it. I mean, that was literally it. And of course, I was really stoked to receive that phone call. And I was very excited about the prospects of being associated with the Googan Squad, because at that time, and still today, they are the #1 brand in the YouTube fishing industry, right? Like, you can't debate that, whether you like them or not. They are #1 is in many, many, many categories. So from that first phone call and that first DM from Lunkers TV, let's just fast forward like another 6 to 8 months, maybe even a year, okay? But now I have taken a large step forward in my channel. At this point, now we're looking at like the 2018, or maybe 2000. My dates are all crazy. Let's just say a year and a half later or something like that. We're at the Bassmaster Classic in Knoxville, Tennessee, okay? Now at this point, I'm doing really well, you know. Between that first conversation with Matt Kendrick and then, I've partnered up with Lojo. You know, I've been like one of the first YouTubers sponsored by a rod and reel company. And so I'm working with Lojo with rods and reels. And I show up to the Bassmaster Classic, and the Googans had already told me, you know, hey buddy, we're gonna be at the Classic, you know, come stay with us. We've got an Airbnb, you know. And so I did, you know, I stayed with them, I hung out with them some, I made some booth appearances with Lojo and Mystery Tackle Box and Catch Co, and they did their thing. They had like their own booth or whatever they were doing. Maybe they were at the Mystery Tackle Box booth, I can't remember. But I got to spend some time with them, you know, talk to them a lot, and I just appreciated that. You know, you guys are going to see a theme here. Like, never once did they try to, like, you know, treat me like I was this small, tiny little YouTuber, and at that time I only had like 70,000 subscribers. You know, I was becoming something, but I really wasn't up there yet. But they always treated me well. They always, you know, if they were in town where I was going to be, they always offered me to stay with them for free. You know, offered to collaborate, things like that. So that really meant the world to me. Little things like that. I'm the kind of guy that I respond to that kind of, you know, I respond with loyalty. When you're good to me, I'm going to be good to you. That's just how it is. Now, right around that time, I may have just gotten ahead of myself here, but when Googan Baits launched, somebody get in that comment section and try to straighten up my timeline here, because I'm just, my mind, I'm trying to do this all in one shot, one cut. I don't have any notes or anything. But when Googan Baits launched, it was around that time, maybe before, a little bit before, I was the first person that they approached to use Googan Baits and to be paid for it. Now, keep in mind, at this time, fishing YouTubers were not making money from bait companies, okay? They just weren't. Like 99% were not, except for the tippy top, okay? And Googan Baits had just come out, and I was like the first YouTube angler that they approached and offered me like a straight up deal. You know, good money every month, and it wasn't even an exclusive deal. It was just, hey, we want you to use Googan Baits if you like the baits, straight up. And that meant the world to me too, because at that time, now I'm starting to transition to become a full-time YouTuber, you know, and I need money. And I wasn't making a ton from YouTube. I wasn't making enough to replace, you know, a normal person's salary, but not enough to get rich. And so that little extra from Googan Baits definitely helped. And that meant the world to me. So you're seeing this theme here. I've been working with these guys for a few years now. So, you know, this isn't something that just happened like overnight, which a lot of people I think that it just kind of happened like that. Like they just kind of plucked me out of the crowd 3 months ago, and now I've just been hanging out with them. That's not what happened at all. So now we've got the tiers of our relationship, right? Like I've stayed with them before as they travel, do shows and Bassmaster Classics. They've offered me a paying thing using Googan Baits. When it first came out, I was the first person that they really started paying. That made me like super loyal to them. You know, like, hey, these guys took a chance on me. Nobody was doing that. For example, I was working with Luz at the time, and Luz and Strike King are owned by the same company, but Strike King wasn't going to pay me money to use their lures. Nobody was going to pay me money to use their lures because YouTube fishing was just not quite there yet at that time. So Googan Baits took that chance on me, and I really appreciated that. Okay, so now we are in 2019, which is last year, obviously. And so all of that has already happened. And mind you, never once has Manager Matt or anybody in the Googan Squad, although I've been in contact with these people, never once have they said, hey man, we want you to join the Googan Squad one day. That was never a thing that was talked about, at least not at this point in time. So the summer of 2019 happened, and that is when myself, Fishing with Norm, and Kicking Their Bass TV kind of got together. We had known each other previously. We met at the last year's iCast or whatever. But, you know, we really weren't, you know, I knew Norm. I've known Norm my entire fishing YouTube career. In fact, Fishing with Norm was the first person I ever collaborated with, fun fact, like way back in like 2016 or even 2015. That was the first person I ever collabed with. I had less than 1,000 subscribers and he had like 2,000. That's how long ago that was. But the three of us got together last summer and we just started filming videos together, you know. It was definitely a friendship. I think we really enjoyed each other's company. We all liked each other. And we kind of formed like a little mini team, the three of us. You know, we had seen what the Googan Squad had done by teaming up and filming videos together and collaborating. And we've seen how successful they were. So we thought, hey, let's just do the same thing, you know? The three of us just make videos, collaborate all summer. And we did that. And if I do say so myself, we killed it last summer. The three of us, we grew so much collectively. And you know, really springboarded that business relationship, that working relationship, that friendship. In fact, you know, I had introduced them to my guy at Luz, and now they both work for Luz. So I'd say that everything kind of went well in that regard. You know, we all gained a ton of subscribers. We got tons of views. We had tons of fun. We went to iCast together. You know, a lot of good things came from that. A lot of good friendships that hopefully will be there forever. Now, I know what you guys are about to say next. Well, what happened, Lojo? Like, you haven't been with Norm or Kicking Their Bass TV for a long time. What happened? Something must have happened. Yes, something did happen. Before I go any further, though, I just want to say that Norm and Noah are friends of mine. I'm never going to put words in their mouth or say what they did or what, you know, like, that's not my place. I'm only going to tell you my perspective and my opinion and the truth from my perspective. But here's what happened. So basically, without getting into too many details, the Googans at that time, obviously I had that relationship with them. Norm and Noah did not. Now, Noah actually knew the Googans before they were the Googans. Noah has been on YouTube for a long time. So he knew these guys before they ever teamed up and created the Googan Squad. But Norm had no contact with them really. Noah didn't really have contact with them for years that much. So basically what happened is the Googans wanted me and those two guys to kind of start being more associated with the squad. They wanted us to be coming to Googan Weeks and, you know, just maybe sign on with favorite rods and to just basically for those two guys to come on and do what I was doing. You know, at that time I'd already been to the Googan HQ grand opening. I had been to a Googan Week. You know, I had been doing things with the Googan Squad, but those other two guys had not. So they wanted us to kind of start associating with them. Still no talk about me or them joining the Googan Squad. It was just we were going to be around the Googan Squad. We were going to use Googan stuff, you know, use Googan baits, obviously, that kind of thing. And here's the thing, guys. You know, we were all friends, but we had different ideas of our future. We had different visions of what our future was going to be like. Me, because of that relationship that I had with the Googans previous and all the signs that they had shown me that they believed in me and that they were gonna, you know, they were gonna be there for me. So I saw the Googan Squad in my future. I thought that I was gonna work with those guys for a long time. And Norm and Noah, they did not feel that way. Not that they have any problem with the Googan Squad at all, but they did not see the Googans in their future. And we discussed it as friends, as business people. We discussed it many, many times for a long time. And you guys can see what's happening next. Obviously, I chose my path. They chose theirs. That being said, I've spoken to them since then. As far as I know, the three of us are still cool. We've spoken on the phone recently. Me and Noah spoke on the phone recently. Norm I haven't spoke to in a while, but as far as I know, we're still cool. And that was it, guys. I mean, no big blow up, no big fight, no big like falling out over money. It was nothing like that. It was just a simple case of we just disagreed with our futures and where we wanted to go. And that's fine. Adults can do that. And what separates good people from idiots is when good people disagree with other good people, you just say, hey, you know what? I respect your opinion. You respect my opinion. Let's just go our separate ways. And we can still be friends. And that's exactly what happened. So there's no real drama with it. It was just a simple choice. I made mine. They made theirs. Now, because of that, a lot of you guys are saying, are you still with Luz, Mr. Lojo? Here's the thing about that. Okay, so my official relationship with Luz actually ended on, December the 31st, 2019. So now it's 2020. I am no longer officially working for Luz. And there's multiple reasons why I no longer work with Luz, and you guys can probably understand why I don't. I'm not going to sit here and spoil certain things, but as you guys have already seen teasers for, there are Googan Squad rods, fishing rods coming out here like any day now. These things are going to drop to the public. So we've got that brewing, and later on down the line, other things may be brewing. So I officially ended my, real business relationship with Luz in 2019. I've been working with them for 3 years prior to that. So that was an incredibly tough decision. That and then walking away from Norm and Noah, they kind of went hand in hand because Luz was kind of going to sponsor all three of us, and we were all going to be this big thing. And I just had a different vision. So I made my choice. Incredibly hard decision. I don't think you guys, even if I told you, you wouldn't really know how badly I struggled with that decision to leave Luz, because they had believed in me for a long time too. But I'm still on great terms with Luz. I still know those people very well. I love them. I loved working with them. And for all you folks who bought Luz because you saw me using them, congratulations, you bought a good piece of fishing equipment. And I hope you're not upset with me about that, because I still have a lot of Luz stuff that I'm going to use here and there. So don't feel bad if you bought it because you saw me using it. Hey, you're good. You're good to go. You got a good fishing product, so don't even worry about that. One thing I did forget to mention during this entire thing, the relationship between Mystery Tackle Box and Catch Co. and the Googans. Now that's something that's been there for a long time too. And once again, I was already working with Mystery Tackle Box and Catch Co. over here when I was working with Luz. So it only made sense when I no longer worked with Luz, but I was still working with Mystery Tackle Box and Catch Co. And then Catch Co. and the Googan Squad formed together to create all those products, the jigs, the buzz baits, the spinner baits, the crankbaits. It made so much sense for me to continue on with basically the two of them. Mystery Tackle Box and Catch Co. are the same company basically, and you've got the Googan Squad. So they've come together on a lot of stuff. They're collaborating with the rods as well. So it just made sense to me. It made perfect sense to join. And I did not even know that I was going to be able to join the Googan Squad until a few weeks ago. So it was really kind of a shock to me. I thought that I would have to do more before they let me in, but apparently I've done enough. They have confidence in me to continue to do what I'm doing. So I'm excited about it, honestly. I couldn't be happier about how everything turned out. I did go through some really tough times there when I was trying to make a decision, because it was really difficult, guys. I had people on both sides that I loved and I trusted and that had faith in me before anybody else did, and I had to basically choose a side. And if you've ever had to do that before in your life, it's really not easy, especially when you care about both sides. It's incredibly difficult. But I made the decision that I thought was going to be the best for me, business-wise. That's really all a human being can do. You got to make the decision that's best for you and your family. That it is what it is. I hate that expression, but sometimes it just applies so perfectly. And as far as like the question, did I sell out? I've never understood that term, and people say it all the time. It's just like, am I selling out because I decided to join a company who has supported me, believed in me, and paid me long before any other company did and would. I mean, how is that selling out, you know? If you feel that way, I'm sorry, I just would disagree with you, respectfully. It would be different. I would understand the whole selling out point if I was doing stuff with these other guys over here for like years and years and years, then all of a sudden I just jumped ship and left to Googan. But that's not what happened, guys. That's not what happened at all. So in this little monologue right here, hopefully that kind of opens some people's eyes as to what happened, what was the timeline of this, because, you know, the Googans were there in the very beginning of my YouTube channel. They were there, kind of like tapping on my shoulder like, hey buddy, we see you. Now you're super small, but we see you. You're doing a good job. Keep doing what you're doing, and one day maybe, you know, we'll work together. So they were right there with Luz in the beginning. Mystery Tackle Box was there from the beginning. They believed in me back when I had 10,000 subscribers. They sponsored me back before anybody else would. So my loyalty is still with the people who believed in me from the very beginning. So if that's selling out, then I guess call me a sellout, because to me, that is loyalty. That's how loyalty works, is you stay loyal to the people who believed in you before anybody else did, and people that supported you before anybody else did. And Mystery Tackle Box, Catch Co, and the Googans, they did that. They put their money where their mouth was, and Luz did that too, but there was just, I had more opportunity over here with those guys. That's all it was, you know, straight up. That's the straight up juice. I don't know if there's anything else to add to this. You know, I've talked for what, 23 minutes here. So, you know, I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section. I want to hear everything. I want to hear, you know, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want to hear who thinks this is great, who doesn't think this is great, why you don't think it's great, why you think it's great. Any more questions that you have about past relationships that I've had with people, and maybe, you know, what happened to this, what happened to that. You know, I'm a freaking Googan Squad member. It's crazy. It's crazy to say it out loud. It seems very surreal. Kind of seems like a dream at this point. I couldn't be happier. The guys, I just spent 4 days in Texas to film the announcement video, which was a blast, by the way. If you haven't seen the announcement video on the Googan Squad channel, I would highly recommend you go check it out, because it was freaking crazy and it was fun to film. The guys put me through the ringer. Had to do a bunch of crazy stuff. But hey, I mean, I'm going to continue to do what I do, guys. I fish, I have fun, I do challenges, I pond fish, I lake fish, I river fish. I do everything. I am a regular guy, and that is what I love about this channel. I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not. I'm not trying to be this pro fisherman over here. I'm not trying to be this extremely goofy, like, pranking guy over here. I'm just myself. I'm just a guy who loves to fish, and this channel has grown into something that is now huge. And thank you guys so much. I mean, geez, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Thank you guys so much. Because without you, I have nothing. That's the reality of it. And a lot of YouTubers don't really feel that way. A lot of YouTubers have this inflated ego, and they think that it's them. They are the ones who are awesome, and that's why their YouTube channel is big. That is not what I feel. That's not how I feel. I feel like you guys are the best subscribers on YouTube. You've stuck with me through thick and thin. What the hell am I talking? I've been talking for way too long. But yeah, so once again, thank you. And I'm extremely happy to be an official Googan Squad member. It's not going to change anything. That would be one question you guys would have. Is this going to change your content? No, absolutely not. I have been encouraged by them and by anybody that matters to don't change your content at all. To keep doing what I do. Do what I enjoy to do. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So get in that comment section, guys. Let me know what you think about this. I would love to hear any opinions at all. Hit the thumbs up button if you love this announcement and you can't wait to see more collaborations with me and the Googans, because I've got some good ones on the books, planned, like ready to go this summer. So we got some good stuff coming. I will be seeing this guy real soon on his farm. And I don't think I'm missing anything else. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. Let's go ahead and keep this thing going. Let's go ahead and grow. Get to 300,000 subscribers. Maybe we can do that in the next month or two. And yeah, I'm getting out of here, guys. I think I did pretty good in addressing everything. Once again, thank you. I love you so much. And until next time, I'm getting out of here on to the next outdoor adventure. Fist bump. I'm out.